Welcome to another episode of Royal Rumble. This time, the Beastmen will face up against the Wood Elves.
So welcome, or thank you for tuning in another episode of Royal Rumble. In this game I play as Beastmen against Wood Elf, and this game actually was a lot of fun because my opponent uses the new Regiment of Renown units, and yeah, it was quite a lot of fun. So let us start with my army composition, and let us start over here. I have three groups of Thentigors without grab weapon, just the vanilla version. Because they are cheaper, and if you bring three of them, they are also very quite steady, or make a lot of damage if you have three in the row. And also Thentigors in general has a very high speed level. So they are in fact at 96, what is very huge. Always put them in a vanguard position in front of the rest of my army, cause against Wood Elf. Cause if the Wood Elf player has also some vanguard units or some units in a vanguard position, you can react really fast and maybe kill him. And also in this case, my opponent put some 2 units of Glade Riders in a vanguard position, but the distance to my Thentigors were too far and still too huge, and I was not able to get them in the pre-combat phase. But it's quite good to put your Thentigors in a vanguard position, so you can react really fast, and sometimes you are able to catch these guys or some Glade Riders or something like that. So to my rest of my army composition, I think you know this build, or more, some of you will know this build, and I have in the front line Angua Spearmen, in fact 6 units. So this is the cheapest infantry unit of Beastmen, but they are quite good against, they have an anti-large bonus in fact. Of 12, what is quite good, and they have a charge defense against large foes, but it's not that important because I always attack. I'm not standing still, and as you know, you get charge defense if you stand still. When you are moving, you will not get any charge defense. So, but they are quite good, and they are so cheap. You can mass them, you can spam your frontline with them, and yeah, they are quite good. Directly behind that, I have my Gorhead with shield, in fact 5 units. So they are in fact very good against the Eternal Guard, or they perform very good against all Eternal Guard units. And yeah, they will join the frontline fight, or they are especially for fighting Eternal Guard. So this combination I think is quite strong, because the Angua Spearmen are able to attack the Treekin or a Durtu or any large units, and then you go with your Angua, with your Guard with shields through the Spearmen and attack the Eternal Guard. And this is a quite good combination, and you can see how much units you get. That's a lot. So on the third line, I have Angua Raiders on the left and on the right side, for shooting on his arrow units or shooting units, especially to focus out everything that shoots on me. This is the first point, and after that you can constantly shoot on his front line, and yeah, they make not so much damage. In fact, the damage is quite less, so it's 12, and the armor piercing damage is 1, so it's nearly useless against armor. But yeah, it's against enemy archers, it's quite good. Then I have 3 units of 3 goblins with me, so they are the absolute counter against all Treeman, Durtu, and something like that. They will kill everything like that very fast. Then I have my Kazrak, because he's the second cheapest lord in the game, commander in the game, and he's also quite tanky. The weapon strength it's okay. It's 350, not the best weapon strength in the game, but it's quite okay. Also on this mount, on this chariot, he has he has a real anti-infantry bonus. Yeah, 26, and armor piercing is 240. What's really good. I think he only get this 240 armor piercing damage, or it will be that much only on the chariot. I think, I don't know really, but it's very good. It's not to compete directly 1-on-1 against Dotto, that he will not survive that, but it's okay. So okay, let's come to my opponent. We have Eternal Guard in the front line. In fact, this one in the middle is the new Winterheart's Guard. And yeah, I made some experience with them. They are so strong. I think unbreakable. Yes, weapon strength is not that high, but they have made 20 armor piercing of that, and they have a real bonus versus large of 15, what is really good. And also the melee attack and the melee defense is huge. So the performance of these guys is so good. They are really strong. And they made I have some problems after the new patch with the Regiments of Renown, and if any Wood Elf player brings them, it's not that easy like it was before. Then we have Fireborg Elder's Tree King. I'm not sure with this, but also in this game they will perform really good. Also they have the charge defense like the other Tree King, and they make flaming attacks. I'm not sure. I think it's not that important against Beastmen, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. In this game, they perform really good. And we have another unit of Treekin and another, what is really good. So Treekin are so steady, and it's very heavy to kill them, and the weapon strength is so good, and they have not so much armor piercing damage. But the damage overall is quite okay, and also the leadership is high, so Treekin are really steady unit. Then we have this legendary Wardens of Citral, Wildwood Rangers. I didn't see them very often because I think they are too expensive. 1250 is the price, I think, but they are nearly unbreakable, or they are unbreakable. The melee attack is enormous. They damage the armor, so they have armor piercing, and I think they will give the opponent a reduction of the armor about 30 for 10 seconds, and make so much armor piercing damage itself of 27. And yeah, it should be they should be perform really good against everything armored. But I'm not sure about that against Beastmen, because Beastmen in general have not that much armor. I would bring more Eternal Guards, I think. So in fact, for this unit you get nearly 3 units of Eternal Guards. So I would bring Eternal Guards, and that should be work better. So we have War Dancer with Azrael Spear, good anti-large unit to protect his flanks. We have a Durtu as his commander, very competitive way to bring him. I wouldn't bring any other lord against Beastmen, so Durtu is one of the most tankiest lord in the game. I think the strongest after Kolek, and yeah, I would bring him always against Beastmen. And we have a branch web with, of course, Elves Blood, I mean, and some Penumbral Pendulum, yeah, for killing the front line and make some trouble over there. So in fact, the branch web has this ability, Call of the Woods, and this ability will give every ally unit in range 8 plus 8 melee attack, what is quite good, and not all players notice that. Also the speed plus 6%, and it's very good, and it's very cheap unit in fact. So okay, and we have a I was not able to get his Blade Riders over there with hackbank tips, because as I said in a former video, they poison your units and they will reduce the speed. You can see here minus 24%, so we'll never get them. And yeah, it's nearly a problem. You can do nothing about that, but they were very annoying, and I started shooting with my Angor Riders. And let us start over here. So I noticed that his front line is not filled with Treekin, except with Winterheart's Guard, with the Eternal Guard. So I sent my my Angor Riders, my Gorhard with shield, sorry, to the front. So I'm not charged in with the Spearmen. I charged in with the Gorhard with shields. But now he set it his Treekin over there to this front line, and of course I'm starting to charge in with my Spearmen then. But now my Gorhard will fight his Eternal Guard, and this is made for this. So over here, yeah, his War Dancers fight against my Spearmen, and a group of Gorhards will join that. And yeah, I'm still in here. I hadn't any target for my Angor Raiders, any shooting target, so he had no Glade Guards or something like that. So I started shooting on his front line. And I chased his Glade Riders with my Centigors, and yeah, that they will stay away from my front line. So also the Beastmen units are not have not the highest leadership, and this is a great problem if they are constantly on the fire. So it's important to chase them away. As you can see, the Durtu is nearly killed, and yeah, you know how difficult this is probably. But with three Gobbles, it's quite easy. So he's shaking now, and he will die in a few seconds. Now my commander will join that. I'm not sending my Lord into the Durtu in the beginning, because the Durtu can hit him very heavily, very fast. So I will wait till my Gobbles make some damage, and yeah. But in fact my Gorbals, one is round now, and the other one is also very damaged. And I think the Firebog Elders performed really well. It damaged my Gorbals really heavy. Also, this Winterheart Guard maybe made a lot of damage to this Gorbals over here. Here you can see I chase out his Glade Riders, or chase his Raiders. In fact, I get some models over here. I'm still shooting on his front line, but as I said, they are filled with Treekin, and Treekin are heavily armored. So my Angor Riders will make nearly no damage. But yeah, but as I said, I have no other good target, so what should I do? So Durtu is killed over here, and now the Firebog Elders fighting my Gobbles, and in fact they also get they are shaking actually, or they are routing now. So also the Gobbles fighting very well against them. The ones of Citadel Wildwood Rangers made 126 kills actually. It's a lot. They performed so good, and you can see against the Gobbles, I think they are very very strong. So if you are playing Wood Elf, and your opponent as Beastman brings a lot of Gobbles, you have to take care of your great units, and you can manage this to bring it to send the Eternal Guards to fight his Gobbles. So this is this is a big problem for the Gobbles. So the Eternal Guard performed really well against the Gobbles. And if you want to like to save your Treekin or something like that, manage that your Eternal Guards will fight the Gobbles. So my commander is, he's not very healthy, but he is now make a charge attack against his War Dancers over here, but he's shaking, and in a few seconds he will rout. No, he is killed actually. So my opponent managed to kill him. I wasn't that careful. So also this is a very big problem. The Treekin, the leadership will is now nearly at 0, and they will rout. But they have 9 models left, so it's very complicated. You have to manage that they will not come back. But with 9 models, if they come back, game can change. The Treekin Elders, as I said, they performed in this game really well. They made not so much kills, but they hold the line for very long, and yeah. So my, as I said, the Angkor Riders didn't make that much damage against armored units, but if you constantly shoot on his units, it will adds up, and after a time, also on routing units, it's quite good because they will not come back then. So his bench ref is still casting, and it's always very difficult to focus out the bench ref because yeah, she's quite squishy, and always if you hit her, they flies around, and then the opponent has a lot of time to save her, and so the most player will ignore her for a long time. But in fact, the spells Earthblood, or as I said, Smoke and Mirrors and Call of the Woods are so strong because they will pump up the rest of the infantry. So it should be, yeah, you should kill her very fast. So here a group of Syndicors came back. I think they managed, as you can see, the line of dead Glade Riders, they managed to kill one model after another. So after a time, if you chase down a unit that is faster than you, they always get, they are not so fresh anymore after a time, and they get, the speed will reduce and reduce and reduce, and then you will be able to kill models, and as you know, if you get Glade Riders, they will rout almost immediately. But also here, this is, I was able to clean that up, and I think that is quite, that should be it. So the War Dancers performed really well. Also, even if they are not fight against the large unit, but the performance, you can see 178 kills is a lot. He saved his right flank with this unit, but I would put her in the front, in the front line, because yeah, to fighting the Gorbots. But it's always very difficult if your duo 2 is almost killed after 2 minutes to manage to achieve the victory anymore. As I said, I would have brought more Eternal God units and leave out this Wildwood Rangers, because they made a lot of kills actually, but you don't have to forget, as I said, you get nearly 3 of units of Eternal God, I mean without shield, but your unit quantity will increase, and that will, you are more able to defend all flanking maneuvers, or you get not overwhelmed. So it's quite good to bring more units against Beastmen. Beastmen is always acquired. Beastmen have always acquired huge army quantity, and it's I think it's important to also increase your army quantity with Eternal Guards, for example, because they are quite cheap. The cost efficiency is very good. So yeah, I think that was it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you in the next episode. Thank you.